All right, hey everyone. We're in the obviously the driver's seat of the van here, and I just wanted to showcase a little bit of how I move this chair back, how I removed the this trim piece here, so that we can remove the buttons, the steering wheel buttons, so we can replace the buttons with ones that have cruise control. So I just wanted to go over how this was removed. This is the driver's airbag. And of course this would all be installed in there and everything. Obviously I already disconnected everything. But ideally you want to jack up the front of the van so the wheels will turn freely. And then you want to put the ignition in I think it's the number 1 position, so that you could freely turn the steering wheel. But basically, I'm going to just take this away. But basically what I did was turn the steering wheel 90 degrees, and then with a kind of a shorter flathead screwdriver, you're going to come back here into this slot. I think you can see this. You see where my screwdriver's at. We're going to come back here, and then there is a clip. There's a clip on the back of this, and somewhere around here, these two spots. There's a clip there, and then basically you're just going to pry the clip loose, kind of rotate the screwdriver 90 degrees, and then you're just going to kind of push towards this way so that airbag actually comes out. And it'll come out one side at a time, so you take the one side, make it loose, or remove it off its clip, and then you're going to rotate the steering wheel another 180 degrees, and then do the same thing with the other side. And there's 3 electrical connections that you'll see. One is this middle one. You just pull out this orange tab and the connector comes off easily. And there's these 2 electrical posts here, and there's just 2. You just pull those off. This should come right off fairly easy. And then with this trim piece, you're gonna want to it's gonna come out kind of forward like this in this kind of orientation. You can see these posts. There's several posts here that secure this onto the steering wheel, and so they'll come out this way. And you just take a trim removal tool, like one of those tools, and just go around and kind of pull it gently, and then eventually this will come free. There is an electrical connector back here, this red one right here. This connects to this, and just take that off. That's I didn't have any problems with that one. And yeah, and then and I'll show you in a second here how the buttons came off. All right, we're here at the workbench part of the mess here, but just wanted to show you how these buttons were removed. It's quite simple actually. There's just a T10, a Torx T10 size, 2 screws that hold these buttons in, these button groups. So they just kind of set in like this. Take the 2 T10s out, and they pop right out. And you'll have to disconnect the electrical connection, of course. But yeah, that's how you take that off. And then just the reverse order to install the new ones. What I would do actually is, just for fun, what I did is I just took pictures of these stickers on the back here. They might be important to identify later. I haven't done this before, but I think it's important when we go to FORScan, just to make sure those are the correct buttons. All right, so I'm going to install these new button groups, and you could kind of come along for the ride here. I hear some flag flapping in the background. We have an American flag, of course, that is kind of just flapping about. See, and that might be something that you hear. I'm going to carefully just install these T10 screws. They all look pretty much the same, so I don't think there's a specific, I don't think you have to keep track. So I'm going to screw these down, and then I'm going to connect these electrical connections, and then I'll show you the final product. Alright, here it is with the new button groups installed. You could be very careful screwing these screws back into the plastic. You don't want to go too hard, because you're just going to strip the plastic. So it doesn't have to be torqued down at all. Just kind of lightly set in there. Not lightly, but snugly set in there, but don't over tighten them. So they're in there now, they're installed. Looks like they clip in a little bit. And here they are. And I'm just gonna kind of just connect it back up to the van, and then I'll show you that process. Okay, so now we're gonna install this in. So first I'm gonna actually plug in the electrical connection back here. I don't know if you can see that. That should click in as you heard, and then this should just press right in. That should just, in theory, press right in. There we go. Kind of push it where the posts are located, which is 1 on the bottom and 4 on the sides here. Give that a good push. All right, everything's snug in there. I already did those electrical connections on the side for the button groups. These 3 connections are for the airbag, so let's install that right now. And of course the battery's already connected, and we waited a sufficient amount of time to make sure it's all powered down. Okay, so let's install the airbag here. So I do recall that this one was on the right side, and actually different sizes, so you can't really screw this up, at least too much. So I'm going to just insert that in the post, kind of in reverse order. Make sure these are fully seated. There they go. This one's kind of going to be an awkward one. So I believe this goes facing downward. We could just double check here. Looks like actually it goes upwards like this. So it looks good. It's orientated like this. And I'm just gonna install this very awkwardly. There we go. All right, there we go. So there it is installed, and then now this should just clip right in. I'm gonna get back into the seat here. I'm just gonna push this in kind of evenly. There should be an audible click. There we go. It's perfect. Now I got the new button groups. That's fantastic. Now the next step is to do the software side, and I'll showcase that. Okay, for the software side, I primarily followed a post by Regular Guy on the Ford Transit Forum. Shout out to Regular Guy, and thank you for the great information. I'll put a link to this post into the description below. So please read that. And actually, before making any changes to in FORScan, I highly recommend you back up all of your modules if you have not done so. And I'll show you a few screens. These screens were taken by Regular Guy. So again, shout out to him. But once you connect your laptop to the vehicle and then you start up FORScan, it'll scan all the modules. You'll see basically the screen. And then what you'll do is you'll go to this button down on the left here. It's looks like a CPU of some sort. It looks like a processor. So click on that. That'll open up, and then go to the tab up here called Configuration and Programming. And this is what you'll see. You'll see all of your modules. To back up all of them, you'll just click on. By the way, you just need to back up the as-built formats. So all these as-built ones, you'll want to back them up if you haven't done so. And to do that, you just click on it, and then at the bottom here, there is a play button. So hit the play button, you'll go into that module. Once you're in that module, let's see if I could if there's another picture here. Yeah, I think it's this one here. So once you're in the module, you'll see a floppy disk icon or a save icon. So you could save the data. And so I would save that data for all the modules. But yeah, let's get into the actual configuration options that are needed to be made to install the cruise control. First, you'll go to the BCMII module. So click on this, click on the play button, open this up, and go to cruise control, turn on cruise control, which is the number 2 value. Once you've done that, then you will, I'm just going to refer back to the post here. I think you hit right, if I remember correctly. Yes, so once you click on cruise control, hit the check mark, and then hit right, and then follow the instructions to turn off the vehicle and turn it back on. Once that's done, and you could hit the stop button over here to exit the module. And And then next piece we'll go into is you need to go into this SCCM module as built. So go into there. So click on, you'll basically have to go back to this screen. Sorry, this screen right here. Go to configuration or programming. You'll see the SCCM module as built. So click or go into that module. Then you'll need to change some values. In this post, you'll see it. It says you're going to change block 7240201 from this value to this value. So go ahead and do that. Same thing. You could come down here and say write all, follow the instructions, and then get out of the module. Next module you'll come into is the SCCM module, but it's not the as-built one. And we're just going to change the steering wheel switches. And so for left and right, for left, you'll want to hit value number 11 here. That's assuming that you bought you should definitely double check the model numbers of your switches to make sure they align up with these values. So for the left, it's number 11, and for the right, it's number 1. Just like that. And then same thing, hit write all, and then that's it. And then just take a test drive and make sure everything works. I hope that was helpful. Thank you.